guys, this is Patrick Kelly Photos again, a photographer and editor, and today I'm doing a What's in My Camera Bag 2022 Part 1. This is a little series that I'm going to do once every 6 months for the year, so 2022 Part 1, then Part 2, and 23, just in case I upgrade. Great. I'd first like to thank my dad for letting me borrow his Canon T7i with the 18 to 55mm lens. I'd like to thank my brother Fire Beauty, who is a great makeup artist and model, for letting me borrow his lights, so if the footage looks a little better lit than expected, you can thank him. I'll also put his Instagrams down below, since he is also helping me film this video. Anyway, let's get to it. So first, we're going to start off with the YouTube portion of this channel. What do I use to record these videos? Now, for the videos, I have the Canon Eos 70D right here. My brother, Fire Beauty, and I use this camera a lot for our YouTube videos, our regular videos for behind the scenes. Anything that we can film with, we preferably use this camera. Now, the two lenses that we use for this camera are phenomenal with this camera. First, we have the Canon Ef 24mm f2.8 STM Pancake lens. This lens is about $150 at most, but it's silent, prime lens, f2.8 aperture. It's really great, especially on APS-C cameras. Well, it's only on APS-C cameras. The next lens is also an APS-C camera. It is the Canon Ef 10 to 18mm f4.5 to 5.6 image stabilized STM lens. This lens we use primarily if we're going to shoot outside. Yeah, this lens we use primarily if we're going to be outside, handheld, hold the whole 9 yards, because it has a lower aperture. We used this lens on our last video when the makeup artist shot a photographer's pictures, and we think it's a great camera, or a great lens. Wow. It's a great lens, my bad. Now let's get to the photography part of my portion. Now this is going to be the longest part of the video. Let's get to it. Alright, I'm back, and in case you can't see, I got my camera bag right here. This is what I bring to every photo shoot. Oop, oh, that just snapped my wrist. Snapped a little bit, but let's unzip it. Now, for my camera, we have the Canon 5D Mark II. This camera came out in 2008. I believe I picked it up for less than $500. When it came out in 2008, I believe it was around $3,000. You can get great deals on these on eBay, Adorama, or mpb.com. But I've shot many projects with this camera. With my brother, we have had the most phenomenal time shooting with this. Now, let's look at my flash. Here's my flash. It is the newer Speedlight NW760C. My brother and I have been using this for all of our indoor shoots. It is phenomenal. We've been using this flash since the beginning when we started working together. And I can't say anything wrong because I'm not the most experienced with flashes. But I've been taught that it's better to be knowledgeable on both rather than just one or the other, and not having experience in any other. I'm talking natural light and artificial lighting. Now, let's start with the least lens I use the most, but it's a lens I use for a lot of detail shots. It is this lens. It is the Canon Ef 50mm f2.5 macro. I gotta be honest, I will never use this lens for video because it's really loud. Basically my macro lens. We haven't had the chance to use this lens yet for portraits, but whenever I shoot details of anything, whether it be nature or rings or products, this is probably my go-to lens. Now, let's show my other 50mm. This lens, it's the Canon Ef 50mm f1.8 STM lens. This lens is as I said in my last camera backpack video, is my second lens I ever bought, and I love this lens. I don't think I'll be upgrading to the 1.4 or any other 50mm for the time being because I don't see a need to just yet. We haven't used this very much on portraits, but I have used it on landscape shots. Submitted it to Star Wars YouTube artist Catherine LaSalle for her critique, and she loved the picture, so I'm not going to stop using them. The next lens, this is my favorite lens to use, but I rarely get to use it until the spring happens when wide angle shoots are the norm. It is the Sigma 35mm f1.4 art lens. This is a lens when you're doing with portraits. I've actually let my brother use this lens in my last video when makeup artist shoots a photographer's photo, because I wanted to give him my best lens so he could do the best job he could. But this lens, phenomenal, what can I say? Now, this lens is very popular for wide angle portrait shoots, which me and my brother have a couple planned in the spring and in the summer, so that will be very, very fun. Now, let's get to my most used lens that I use for my photo shoots that I've used with my brother at night, and it's the Canon Ef 85mm f1.8. This lens, as you can see the portraits me and my brother have done, this has been my primary lens that we've used so far, or with the flash. It is a great headshot portrait shot. It's a great headshot lens. This lens, it's not for macro, but we've had fun. Maybe the next time we do another makeup artist takes a photographer's shot, I'll let him use this lens. It's not as expensive as as most people think. Now for my two zoom lenses. My newest lens is the Canon Ef 17-40mm f4l. I'm also, besides being a portrait shooter and trying to work with models and stuff and weddings, I do a lot of landscape photography, and this lens has helped tremendously for getting wider than my normal lenses. Now, is this the most popular wide angle lens out there, especially in the L series bracket? No, but it was in my budget. I could afford it. I don't always go with the most popular lenses. I go with the lens that works best for what I'm trying to do. Now, I haven't been able to test this lens out as much as I have wanted to because we plan trips out, and that's when I get to use this lens more often. But until then, I'm just glad I have it. It will be there when I'm ready. And finally, my last lens. This lens has been with me the longest. It is the Canon Ef 24-105mm f4l IS USM lens. This is my first lens I've ever bought for photography, but it's also a great video lens. I used this lens on the very first portrait shoot I did with my brother. I have some pictures here. They're on my website, patrickkellyphotos.com, and this lens has never let me down. Now, as far as its capabilities is concerned, I love this lens. I'm probably never going to upgrade to the version 2. Canon, if you ever watch this, you do a phenomenal job with your EF lenses. Now, I understand they're going to the RF version. It may take me a while to upgrade there because I don't really see a need to upgrade just yet. But who knows? Now, anyway, that's it in terms of my cameras and lenses. I do have this little thing that I also got with the 85mm 1.8. It's a variable ND filter that allows me to darken my image if I want to shoot at higher apertures in sunlight. I haven't had a need to use it yet because most of the time I shoot with 85 is at night or in a lit room, so it's been great. But anyway, that's the end of this video. I might film a part 2 in around June to August, but who knows. I'd like to thank my brother Fire Beauty. Again, his Instagram, his business and personal Instagrams are in the description if you want to follow it. He's a tremendous makeup artist. I have my links down below for my website, my Facebook, Twitter, Instagram. You're more than welcome to follow it if you want to. I want to thank you all for watching, and like and subscribe if you want to, and have a nice day.